I'm Megan Strickland Wiggins, and this is Artifact 8 for Criterion 12, Collaborate with Other Educators. As part of a graduate level course on 21st century teaching and learning, my colleagues and I were tasked with creating authentic learning experiences, leveraging technology for our students. The success of our project development and execution was dependent on our collaboration. Upon developing the first draft of our projects, we posted our work in our online discussion forum for peer review, detailing specific requests and areas for support. We contributed to each other's work through replies on the discussion forum. Using each other's guidance, support, and contributions, we made improvements to our designs and posted a second draft of our projects. In this second draft, we outlined how changes were made as a result of collaborating with and learning from our colleagues, and requested additional support to further improve our work. For my Developing Democratic Citizenship Through Student Government project, I requested help pertaining to culturally responsive engagement and how to improve the level of teaching innovation. I utilized my colleagues' feedback to add a component to respond to the need for representation of diversity, as well as including additional technologies for the voting forms, spreadsheets and charts to display election data, and social media posts to communicate election results with the student body. I also utilized her suggestion to develop an authentic audience for my students' work product by having them share their student government handbook with other middle schools. When posting her initial draft for her COVID pandemic and plastic pollution project, my colleague requested help improving culturally responsive engagement, as well as ideas to increase her level of teaching innovation. In my reply, I made suggestions specific to these requests. I offered the idea she reach out to a professional in the field through a video conference in which her students could utilize the professional's expertise, as well as share their work product with an authentic audience. She referenced her use of my contributions in her next draft. I then provided additional feedback to the modifications she made. Through this collaborative experience, my colleague and I improved our ability to create high-level, engaging learning experiences that leverage technology for our students. I'm Megan Strickland Wiggins, and this is Artifact 8 for Criterion 14, Facilitate Students' Virtual Meetings with Experts or Students. I created an engaged learning project for my 7th grade social studies students titled Developing Democratic Citizenship Through Student Government. In this project, students will establish a school government at Crabapple Middle School by creating bylaws and holding a school-wide election. To expand students' authentic real-world experiences, I included opportunities in the project for students to connect with experts, teams, and other students to gather their input on developing bylaws and the election process, as well as their experiences in their roles. Students will use Microsoft Teams virtual meetings to facilitate these collaborations. John Albers is a Georgia State Senator for the 56th District, which includes the Fulton County School District. Senator Albers lives in Roswell, Georgia, and his children attended Crabapple Middle School several years ago. Students will use the contact form on Senator Albers' website to request his input on a successful student government through a collaborative synchronous meeting. Using Twitter, students will search for posts by middle school student government organizations. Based on the alignment of content of the posts with our project goals, students will use the Twitter platform to connect with student government organizations at other middle schools. Several years ago, Crabapple Middle School had a student government in place. Engaging with one or more past members would enhance students' learning and provide them with additional real-world and authentic experiences. I'm Megan Strickland Wiggins, and this is Artifact 8 for Criterion 15, Demonstrate Effective Communication with All Student Supporters. I created an engaged learning project for my 7th grade social studies students titled Developing Democratic Citizenship Through Student Government. In this project, students will establish a school government at Crabapple Middle School by creating bylaws and holding a school-wide election. In this project, I will communicate with students, parents, colleagues, and other community members through the school website, social media, and Microsoft Teams. The school website will include a page for student government that introduces the project, outlines the project goals, and shares important dates. Students' drafts of bylaws will also be included on the website, as well as a cloud-based form to gather input from stakeholders. Twitter will be used to provide more frequent updates of student progress, as well as pictures of students' work. I will communicate with students through a Microsoft Teams group. This will include announcements and resources to support students' work, as well as a platform for students to submit project components for teacher review. Students and teacher chat channels will be used as discussion boards for communication relevant to the shared project goals. I'm Megan Strickland Wiggins, and this is Artifact 8 for Criterion 17, Aligned to Content Area Standards. I designed an engaged learning project for my 7th grade social studies students titled Developing Democratic Citizenship Through Student Government. In this project, students will establish a school government at Crabapple Middle School by creating bylaws and holding a school-wide election. This authentic project aligns with the Georgia Standards of Excellence as well as the National Curriculum Standards for Social Studies. The focus content standard for this project is to compare and contrast different forms of citizen participation in government. This includes explaining citizen participation in both autocracies and democracies, specifically the role of the citizen in choosing leaders. The National Curriculum Standards for Social Studies address civic life, politics, and government with a focus on the purposes that government serve, the purposes of a constitution, and civic rights and duties. Students will also explore foundations of the political system used in our country by examining the values and principles included in the United States constitutional democracy, as well as how political systems provide for choice and opportunities for citizen participation. Lastly, students will consider the role of the citizens in American democracy, as well as the potential role of students as citizens in our school democracy. As part of this project, students will utilize a variety of digital tools. This includes software for web development, video recording, Microsoft Teams for virtual meetings and communication. Students will also use election polling software and social media to maximize active and deep learning as they work to develop a student government at Crabapple Middle School.